Odell Backham Jr. reportedly recruited to Baltimore by one Lamar Jackson. That means there's an understanding Lamar, will be the team's quarterback next season. It cost the Ravens $15 million in guaranteed money. One anonymous agent not involved in this deal said it's very un-Raven-like and even, quote, crazy. Skip, let's start with you. Do you think Odell's going to be worth this much money?
Long term, absolutely not. Shannon Sharp, once upon a time you played for this franchise. I've always had huge respect for this franchise. Play like a Raven, those purple colors. There's just something great about Ravens tradition. You were steeped in it. You won a Super Bowl there. I never thought I would put Ravens and desperate in the same sentence, and I'm doing so now. This was a desperate move that, for the moment, short term, could be desperately brilliant. I'm going to use the magician's analogy here because it's called sleight of hand. What you do is, with your right hand, you go way up here and you try to distract the audience so that with your left hand, you can trick the audience.
Right.
This is classic sleight of hand because the Ravens are trying to trick you by distracting you up here with Odell at $15 million a year. That's guaranteed, up to 18 with incentives. Remember, Odell, the free agent market has been open for a month now. He's been free for more than a year now. He's just been sitting out there. Nobody moved to get him. He was supposed to visit the Jets just before on Easter he signed with the Ravens. It was a brilliant move by Odell, too, because he negotiated the heck out of this deal. He played it perfectly where the Ravens needed him, so they had to outrageously overpay a receiver coming off 2 ACL reconstructions at age 30. Outrageously overpaid that receiver for his mystique, for his charisma, for his social media presence, while continuing to outrageously underpay their quarterback. Overpay, underpay. If I'm Lamar, I told you yesterday, I'd sit back at some point. As much as I love Odell, as much as I'd be excited about throwing the football to Odell and just getting to share the locker room and the huddle with Odell, I'd sit back and say, wait a second. They're giving him $15 million guaranteed at age 30 off 2 ACLs, while they're restricting me to the non-exclusive franchise tag at $32 million when I wanted 230 to start guaranteed, maybe 250 guaranteed, which Lamar has earned to me. Other point of order here is that let's not accept as a done deal that Lamar's a Raven, because the Ravens right now have exposed him to the market because he's not exclusive. So I told you, depending on how the draft shakes out, there still could be Team X out there that could say the week after the draft, you know what? It didn't fall the way we wanted it to, right?
Right. Skip, I think the thing is, for me, I think the Ravens are saying, we're not going...
But wait a second. Just a point of order is, he's still available.
Yes.
I mean...
you talking about Lamar?
Yes, Lamar.
Okay,
they can still come and get him. Right now, any team out there could say, you know what, Ravens, we give you our next 2 years first-round picks, and Lamar, we're going to pay you, let's just call it $230 guaranteed million for 5 years. Come play for us. Well, that's a done deal. Then he has to go play for them.
I think the thing is, Skip, is that the Ravens don't want to set the market.
No.
They can say we matched the offer, but Team X set the market. So don't be mad at us. All we did was match. But my thing is, Skip, is that, he was recruited to Baltimore by Lamar. I thought Lamar asked for a trade. Man,
that's the last we heard.
I mean, hell, if I'm leaving Fox, I ain't recruiting nobody to Fox if I'm leaving, Skip.
No.
You doing that, Skip?
Well, unless it's your brother or somebody, like if it's, if it's Sterling. Let's say it's, so what if Sterling suddenly says, don't leave, I want to come be your teammate or whatever. Well, you'd say, okay.
Well, he must have talked to Lamar before that March 2nd, he put that trade request in. Because now it's become public that he did request a trade from the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens are sitting back and saying, well, we don't want to set the market. We'll let someone else set the market, and we'll match the market. It's like, Skip, it's like a house. Well, I'm going to see with somebody, I'm not going to overpay for the house. Now, if somebody else says, okay, pay this amount, I was like, okay, I'll match that. But to your point about Odell, Skip, I did not think he could get this kind of money. Not guaranteed. I thought they could get the 15 with guaranteed money plus incentives, I didn't think he could just get flat out $15 million. As you said, coming off his second ACL surgery in 3 years, missing all of last year. And the question was, who they bidding against? Who had $15 million for Odell?
Nobody, because the Jets reportedly wanted to go low base, big incentives.
Okay.
Well, that's what everybody would.
That's what everybody. I believe everybody's going to do. But Skip, you do realize now for $15 million, a $15 million receiver, that's somewhere 80, 85, 100 catches, 1,200, 1,300 yards, 7 to 10 touchdowns. Does Odell have that in him?
I hope for the Ravens' sake he does, but I don't think so.
But see, here's the thing, Skip. Look, he got his money. But if it doesn't pan out, he gets to say, well, you know, the Lamar Jackson's contract situation, and we had that uncertainty. So he's in a win-win.
Okay. Odell just wanted the money. Okay. And we get it, and I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and Skip, he got a ring. He's already got a ring.
To get paid.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about searching for that opportunity.
And he finessed his way into the perfect situation to get paid because the Ravens actually needed to overpay him to show the world we went out and paid top dollar for a free agent. They have a reputation for being, I don't know if you want to say cheap, but
they got to land. Ozzie, Eric DeCosta's taking over now, but Ozzie had a number that he was willing to go to. Now, he might be willing to go a couple of dollars over, but he wasn't going. Ed Reed went to the Texans.
He did.
Terrell Suggs went to Arizona. He has a number that he will draw.
Yep.
And this is where he is. You look, what's the, Zadarius Smith.
Yep. It's a good one.
Pernell McPhee. You go look at it. Bart Scott. You go look at all the guys. Some great players have left Baltimore. Ozzie has a number. He's not going too much over that number.
Okay, but I think this went to Steve Bisciotti, the owner, who said, I need to look like I'm paying somebody top dollar because he paid way more than any other free agent receiver has gotten so far in this cycle.
Yes.
Like way more.
Yeah.
I need to show our fandom, because season ticket renewals are coming up.
Right.
I need to get them re-energized.
Excited, okay.
I need to create excitement. And the only way to do it is to overpay Odell. To A, make sure you get him away from the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, because he was on Aaron's wish list.
Right.
But B, just to put a big $15 million out there like, we just did something. Their offseason has been a mess.
A dud.
They haven't done anything in the offseason except sign Nelson Aguilar. And yet, all of a sudden, I look at what's left of your receivers, and obviously Mark Andrews is your top receiver as a tight end.
Yeah.
But of the wideouts, Odell immediately becomes your number one, right?
Yeah.
Over Rashad Bateman, I think, even though Rashad's younger and probably at this point healthier and more talented than Odell is.
Right. Yeah. But you look at Rashad Bateman, Aguilar, Devin Duvernay, Wallace, James Prochet II, Andy Isabella. Come on. Shamar Bridges.
Okay. What was the beauty of Odell's choice to go to the Rams when he did go to the Rams, when we thought maybe it's going to be Green Bay, maybe it's going to be New Orleans? The beauty was Cooper Kupp was putting up numbers we'd never seen from a wide receiver.
Correct.
And once you settled in there and you hit the playoff run, playoff defenses are saying, we have to stop the other guy.
Correct.
What is he, number 10?
10.
Yeah, we got to stop 10. They're doubling him. They're tripling him. The whole defense, the whole consciousness of the defenses in those playoff games swung to Cooper Kupp. Odell always got single covered, and he was still certainly good enough and experienced enough and poised enough under pressure, because he's been in big games before. He's going to catch some footballs.
Right.
And he started, obviously, at Tampa in that game. It went to the wire, but he had a big game. And he had started off, as we know, the Super Bowl with a couple big catches.
Right.
And I don't know, he was on his way if he could have sustained the pace.
It looked like he was going to have over 100 yards.
But maybe he could have been the MVP.
Right.
Cooper Kupp was the MVP. But the point is, that was the perfect spot for him to choose and land in, right?
It was. If I'm hearing you correct, Skip, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, you can correct me. It seems to me that you believe the Ravens played Odell for reputation, not what he could possibly do.
Mystique, social media presence. What NFL player has bigger social media presence than Odell? Nobody does.
Right.
I mean, it's extraordinary. Charisma, popularity. It's like Russell Westbrook. I never can understand why do all these players, starting with LeBron going back 2 years ago, that they're in awe of Russell Westbrook, and they all like him. They like to be around him, kind of off the floor in the locker room and just in a camaraderie situation. Well, I'm not saying Odell's Russell Westbrook, but the point is, Everybody loves Odell. You've been around him. He has big, lovable personality. Jerry Jones fell in football love with him, right?
Right.
Okay? That's what you're paying for, is the presence of that, the mystique of that, the drawing power, the selling power as far as season tickets goes of Odell Beckham Jr. That's what you bought. But in the end, when all the smoke clears at the end of the year, he will not be able to live up to being a $15 million #1 receiver.
Okay.
Are you going to re-energize, reinvigorate, relaunch Lamar in Baltimore? That's the point of this, because you went and got somebody that he loves. Obviously, they're celebrating on Sunday night. Great. I got it. I think you're bamboozling your quarterback a little bit, and I still say he's going to wake up at some point and say, wait a second.
Right.
Because nothing has changed for Lamar in and of himself. Nothing has changed, right?
He still doesn't have the contract that he desires.
No.
He still is, right now, he's under the non-exclusive franchise tag, which is $32 million. And they've given him a receiver who hadn't been at the top of his game for a very, very long time. Okay. Now, to say that he's still probably better or equal to what they have right now is not saying much, considering none of these guys have ever had 1,000 yards receiving season.
Yep.
So the last time Odell, we got to go back to 2016 when he had played the full 16 games. He had 1,367 yards and double-digit touchdowns.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, he's been average.
Yeah. Okay. So all of a sudden, the glass is half full in Baltimore. All of a sudden, the Phantom is saying, well, wait a second. We got J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards running the football. Lamar, by all accounts, is now a happy camper, back in the fold. And the defense is always pretty to very good. They thought they had Darius Slay. It didn't pan out. He stayed with Philly. They haven't really improved their defense, but it's always credible. I think it will be decent next year. And if Lamar comes back recommitted, he was not committed in meetings last year, in practice last year. He was committed when they blew the whistle, when it was time to play real football. You want to talk about balling out. He balled out. But the point is, you need him to be happy. And I guess that Steve Bisciotti thinks spending $15 million for the new toy that is the old Odell will make Lamar happy. And maybe for one night, Lamar was happy. Again, I think you're going to look at this as wasted money at the end of the year.
You think so?
Yep.
Well, I mean, for $15 million, those type receivers, that's 1,200 yards, Skip. 1,200 yards.
You better. I just don't know if he's capable. In
17 games, that shouldn't be hard to do. But it's, I'm excited that he got his money. We're just going to see if he's still Odell and not in name only.
Okay. Agreed.
The workout videos he's been posting certainly look impressive. Let's hope it translates to the field, guys. All right, moving back to the association. LeBron and the Lakers